What's the wave? It's Drakeo The Ruler, and I'm chilling at the G Expo. You see it clearly. You see the buggers. You see the Uchis. You see the Uchis. You see it. You see the Balencis.
When we last covered Drakeo The Ruler on this channel, he was just starting to gain mainstream notoriety. Success which was long overdue following his complicated legal issues that stemmed from a 2016 murder charge that he was eventually acquitted of. We will touch on this more in just a minute, but we do believe that Drakeo was appreciative of our storytelling here at Before They Were Famous. Our original video on him made it into the dialogue for his intro track, California's Hero, off his album So Cold I Do 'Em Too, released earlier this year. For those just finding out about the star, who is widely praised as one of the most talented artists to come out of LA since Kendrick Lamar, or for those of you who have listened to all 10 of his mixtapes and are long-lasting fans of his work, join us as we pay tribute to his life and his career in this gone but not forgotten video. My name, of course, is Clyde Smith. Please leave your condolences in the comments down below. With a heavy heart, let's get into this video.
Got it doing, because all the jerky out there is weak, so I might be weak too. I'm gonna let y'all decide.
Drakeo The Ruler was born Darrell Caldwell on December 1st, 1993 in South Central Los Angeles. He was raised in the 100 section of South Central, raised by his single mother who worked as a preschool teacher alongside his brother Devontae, or Ralphie the Plug. Young Drakeo was drawn to the world of dance and hip-hop as a means to avoid the pitfalls of street life.
What part of LA are you from?
I'm from South Central LA. The hundreds.
He was introduced to rap as a youngster, instantly becoming a huge fan of acts like Hot Boys, Webby, Dipset, and Boozy. But it was a battle rapper who had the biggest impact on his career. He told Billboard, "Who actually influenced me to rap was a battle rapper named Cocky. Though he was so smooth and calm while rapping, despite saying some of the craziest stuff. It showed me you didn't have to yell or be loud to get your point across." Having learned a thing or two from watching his favorite artists, in middle school, Drakeo teamed up with his brother Devontae to start their very own dance crew that eventually morphed into the rap group called Too Greedy. This same group would later evolve into what's now known as the Stink Team. After attending Washington High School in Westmont, which was once upon a time the high school Ice Cube attended, Drakeo would have a chance encounter with the brother of rapper YG, which eventually led to Drakeo being introduced to DJ Mustard, a relationship that would help launch his career. Together, these two rappers remixed Drakeo's track Mr. Get Dough in 2017, and after releasing the video on YouTube via World Star Hip Hop, it now boasts over 7.5 million views. From there, Drakeo began to release a number of mixtapes in quick succession, including his breakout project I Am Mr. Mosley. In total, he released 4 tapes between 2015 and 2017, which is when his life would take a turn for the worse. It all started on the night of December 10th, 2016, when Drakeo arrived with a dozen or so friends at a party in South LA. A shooting would eventually break out amongst the guests at this event, and a man named Davion Gregory was tragically killed. After that, rumors began to spread that Drakeo was involved in the attack as his vehicle was seen fleeing the scene. From that point on, he turned into the LAPD's primary suspect. A month later, in January of 2017, police would raid Drakeo's apartment, collecting weapons and arresting him on the spot. He went to prison on a weapons possession charge and was eventually released in November of 2017, after which he quickly returned to making music, earning himself national acclaim as a promising new rapper when the Washington Post called his 2017 album, Cold Devil, one of the most mesmerizing and intimate rap albums to ever float out of LA. Without a doubt, things were looking up for this talented artist. Problem was, the LAPD were far from done with him. In March 2018, Drakeo would be taken into custody once again. This time, he was indicted on a wide range of felonies related to the December 2016 incident, including murder, conspiracy murder, criminal gang conspiracy, shooting from a vehicle, illegal possession of a firearm, and a number of attempted murder charges. But here's the thing though, prosecutors knew that Drakeo hadn't killed Gregory as they had already obtained an audio recording of a 17-year-old alleged gang member confessing to the killing. Problem was, they also had a tape of the rapper Kells, a member of the Stink Team, confessing to firing additional shots, and law enforcement was ready to argue that Drakeo's rap crew was a criminal gang that planned the killing beforehand.
It's kind of easy for them to do it because it's like, oh, if you've been in jail before, if you hang around people who've been in jail, then it's easy to try to make you like a bad person. Like, oh yeah, well, he's saying this, he's been in jail for this, look at his videos, he's a murderer. I'm like, you can't say somebody's a murderer and all this because they got caught a burglary charge before, bro. Like, that doesn't make you a killer. Okay, you caught a gun charge before. That doesn't make you a killer. Like,
Using Google and social media, police found a music video of Draco's in which both he and Kells are holding a gun that is said to match the ballistics found at the crime scene. According to authorities, this was more than enough proof that Draco was guilty. Prosecutors argued that Draco was at the party to kill a rival rapper, but Gregory ended up dying by mistake. Meanwhile, Draco and his own lawyers have argued that this prosecution was manufactured and that the analysis of his music is laughable at best. Draco told The Guardian, "The whole point of me starting the rap is I get to rap and talk about these things and not do these things. And what would you rather, me rapping about the stuff that I'm not actually doing or out here doing it? It's not real. Rapping is rhyming and pretending. It's a persona." Beyond a run-in with the cops when Draco was 16 and stole from a liquor store prior to this event, no member of Sting Team had a criminal record to speak of outside of some petty crime charges, which you would think is proof that this rap collective is in no way, shape, or form a gang. Even the rapper Draco was accused of planning the takeout, named RJ, has since stood up for Draco and taken to Twitter to let the record officially state that at no point was Draco ever trying to kill him. It was all simply a harmless hip-hop beef.
The funny thing about it is, bro, I love Draco music. That's what people don't even realize. And people be talking all this beef shit. Bro, it's no beef with me and Draco, bro.
This unfortunate news also affected Draco's loved ones. His brother also got locked up for something, and his mother ended up losing her job when the cops tried to pin her with conspiracy to commit murder. While awaiting his trial, Draco would release one of the most heralded rap albums to ever be recorded over a jail cell telephone with his mixtape Thank You For Using GTL. Not only that, but he continued to tweet from his cell and regularly conducted interviews to get the truth out about what was happening to him. Then, during his trial in July of 2019, Draco was acquitted of the murder charges against him, but was still held in prison as prosecutors refiled the charges of criminal gang conspiracy and shooting from a motor vehicle after the jury was hung on those two accounts. I mean, needless to say, Draco was rightfully pissed, so he let the whole world know. After that outburst, Draco lost all of his privileges in prison and was slapped with a gag order for good measure, which meant no phone calls, no visits, nothing, as he once more awaited his fate. Eventually, the appeal court would overturn this order, but that didn't stop the authorities from forcing Draco to spend a considerable amount of time in solitary. Then, in late 2020, there was a sudden turn of events. Prosecutors offered Draco an opportunity to reach a plea deal, something that was extremely difficult for him to accept, but by this point, after having lost years of his life, Draco simply wanted to be a free man. He told The Ringer, "Oh boy, I did not want to take that plea deal. I still feel like it's a setup. They want me to get into trouble. They feel like this is a win for them. I still had to plead out. They still got the gang enhancement. I still have the same judge. So that means if something happens, she's gonna be the one who sentences me to the 9 years that's hanging over my head." That's right, Draco had to walk a very fine line, and if he ever took a single step out of line, the police would have been on him once again with renewed interest, and he'll be facing a 9-year sentence regardless of the transgression. Even something as simple as a photo with a friend who happens to have gang ties would put Draco in deep trouble. But that hasn't quite put the fear of God into Draco quite like the police probably hoped, because with half an hour of his release, Draco was already back in the studio, spending 6 hours recording brand new music from his over 200 pages of lyrics that he wrote while in prison. Within 2 days, he had created his mixtape, We Know the Truth, and dropped it only weeks after his release. Since then, Draco has been besieged by million-dollar label offers and has continued to create new music at a prolific pace, dropping The Truth Hurts in the early part of 2021 with collabs from Don Toliver, Catchy the Great, and the one and only Drake with the anti-love song Talk to Me. This man did everything he could to make sure that his future was filled with promise instead of prison bars. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice and certainly wouldn't be filming any music videos sporting firearms. Still, problems would follow. This past weekend, an altercation between about 7 different men resulted in Draco being stabbed around 8:30 p.m. on December 18th, 2021, backstage at the Once Upon a Time in LA concert. Initial eyewitness accounts reported that he was stabbed in the neck during the altercation. Paramedics arrived at the scene around 8:40 p.m. and transported him to a nearby hospital in critical condition. For a few hours, there were varying reports as if he had or had not succumbed to his injuries. Sadly, the world would find out in the early hours of Sunday, December 19th, that he did in fact pass away. Snoop Dogg, who was scheduled to perform at the LA festival, canceled his performance and released the following statement. "I'm saddened by the events that took place last night. My condolences go out to the family and loved ones of Drakeo The Ruler. Please take care, love one another, and stay safe, y'all." Snoop Dogg concluded, "I'm praying for peace in hip-hop." Plenty of other celebs shared their condolences, including Drake, who stated, "Nah man, this shit ain't right. For real, WTF are we doing? Always picked up my spirit with your energy. He added, R.I.P. Draco. Festival organizers announced that the Once Upon a Time in LA Fest ended shortly after 10 p.m. on Saturday. It truly is with a heavy heart that I am reporting this news. As for the rest of his story, Draco's legacy lives on through his music and his loved ones. Please pay your respects in the comments down below. This was Gone But Not Forgotten.